There's a red flag that I see a lot of guys neglect, and I've neglected this in the past. There was a girl who I liked not long ago, probably about a year, two ago, and I literally neglected this red flag. And how do you think it ended? If I would have understood that this is a red flag, you need to get away from this, you need to leave this, I would have been able to actually push forward and not deal with the sadness or the pain or whatever came from that situation at that time, where you feel like, why the fuck did I waste all that time? I would have been able to neglect that situation. And what I'm going to say in this video is going to be, the red flag is when they're too social. So a lot of guys will literally look past a girl being too social. And what do you think when they're too social? What do you actually think when they're too social? Do you think they're going to have less bodies or more bodies? Do you think they're going to be around more men or less men if they're more social? And the answer is obvious, isn't it? But obviously you got to have that trust or that respect or whatever. But on a real level, when they are too social, you need to watch it. You need to really watch it, because they may be in more situations where more guys can get with them. This guy asks for the number, this guy do this guy do this. And what I see is, when I've been with girls who are more social, the chances of it breaking is so much higher. The chances of the relationship, or whatever you call it, the situationship, where you're just seeing each other and not working, gets higher and higher and higher. And some of you are going to say, oh, it's all right for her to be social. Like, it's not, we're not in the 1960s or some shit like that. But what I do mean is, obviously there's a balance to it. So let's say, for example, you're out and she's speaking to loads of different people, interacting with this guy, interacting with this guy, interacting with this stranger at the bar, interacting with this guy. Obviously, you're going to have to dead that off. But then on another level, let's say she gets a bit drunk and then she's interacting with loads of people, loads of people, loads of people. Imagine when you're not there. Imagine when you're not there. And I had this before, where it wasn't my girl, but there was another guy's girl. And she was literally hugging me and hugging me and hugging me and hugging me and hugging me. And he just stood there like this, all saddened, just a bit like, fuck's sake, why's she doing that? Only to me. Like, heavily only doing it to me, saying she loves me and shit. And it was weird. We knew each other a little bit, but nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. And it was really weird. It was really weird. She was drunk and she was doing that. And I could tell he was thinking, if I wasn't here, I know exactly what would probably happen. If he literally wanted to take her home, he could. And this is my girl. And they're still together. And it's one of these things, man. When you have someone who's a bit too social and you overlook it and you neglect it, it isn't necessarily good, in a sense, you know, because that anxiety of what they're doing, in a sense, and that paranoia a little bit of where they're going, and if they're going out to this thing and you're not there, they might be able to get with someone else. They'll have guys coming up to them, they'll be more receptive to that. It's going to be more apparent in your life, if that makes sense, instead of you having someone who's a bit more secure, not as loud, not as interactive with people. And this is what I like more so over. I like them a little bit more shyer and more to their self. It's just personal preference at the end of the day, really, innit? But I do like them more shyer and more to their self, because that resonates with me as a person a bit more. I like kind of staying in the background a bit. There's times where I come out of my shell, and I do well when I come out of my shell and all this, but it's not me deep down to the core. I do like my alone time, being by myself, doing stuff that's a bit more private, if that makes sense. And this is something you need to watch, in a sense, because a lot of guys will get with a girl like that out of scarcity. So they'll just get with a girl who's way too social, but they'll overlook it because, oh, she's the only girl that wants me, oh, she's the only girl that likes me, oh, whatever it is. And they go for it for scarcity, leading to them absolutely hurting themselves long term and hurting their confidence long term. Because I feel like when they're way too social, it's one of these things that could easily backfire. And then let's think logically one sec. Let's say you have a little thing with this girl. Let's say you see her for 2-3 months. Let's say you smash a few times, take her out, whatever. All right. Let's say it starts going wrong. You get in an argument. What's going to happen then? She knows loads of people. She can say anything about you to any people. She can do anything that she wants, essentially. And she can get with loads of other guys, tell them about you. Loads of stuff can end up negative. You could be in a bad position and you've wasted that time. Now you got to rebuild yourself for what she does. But let's say naturally you got to kind of regroup a little bit from that. Let's say you liked her. You started to build a connection, because sometimes when even you're around the wrong person, you can build a connection with them. I've had this before where you'll be around the wrong person that you know isn't right, But because you're around them a lot and you're doing stuff with them, you naturally kind of start getting a bit connected to them just because of the amount of time you spend with them. So you need to be very watchative, very, very smart with how you literally get with them, if that makes sense, and the girls you choose. And this is why I'm saying girls you choose, because at a certain point, you can get to a level where you can choose different girls. I feel like I've reached that point now. I'm not saying I'm incredible or whatever, but I could choose if I want this type of girl, or I can just say, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. And I know what I want in a girl now, which is very, very powerful in a sense, because you're not going to deal with little bullshit. I'm not saying like a little thing here or there, you know what I mean? But I'm honest with them as well. And that's what you got to be. You got to be honest with them when they're a type like that. You got to be honest with them and say, actually, no, I don't want this. If you want a relationship with someone that's way too social, that's not going to go well, is it? Let's be real. That's not going to go well. How many opportunities is there for her to get with other guys? And also, how has she became so social? You got to ask yourself that. And this is just a little message for the boys, you know. This is no hate to women. Like, there's some incredible women out there, like unbelievable women that could actually change the trajectory of your life and make you feel exceptional and change your life, man. Change your life. There's some amazing women out there. But there is also some that will fuck you up. You know what I mean? There is some that will hurt you or try to take out of you or try to almost tear you apart in a sense. And I just want to get the guys who are watching this to not make that mistake, because it's very easy to make that mistake, especially when you're younger, or especially when, let's say, you start improving yourself, you get in decent shape, say you've put on a little bit of muscle, you're a little bit lean, let's say you're around 13% body fat, but girls are a little bit attracted to you, and you may get some random girl who's just really attracted to you for some reason, but she's way too social, and you think, actually, I can hit it, actually, I can fuck her, actually, I can do this. Like I've had before where I got in shape where I was like near 10% body fat, girl wanted me, made it so obvious, oh yeah, that's me, let's do this, and it wasn't right, and she was way too social, and that only lasted for 2 weeks, luckily, but I had to break that off because she wanted a relationship. I was like, nah, come on, darling, you're not getting a relationship with me, come on. And I had to break that off, and then it turned a bit negative a little bit, and it's one of these things that was a bit of a waste of time, you know, to where I look back and I'm not that happy of that happening. You know what I mean? I'm not like amazingly happy. Obviously it's life, I didn't really regret it, but it's one of these things where I'm not that happy that I've done it, you know. But if you have the mindset that you're going to find a woman that fits your needs, and especially when you start to get better, put on a bit of muscle, lean down, have more money, have more confidence, look at yourself in a better way, you will actually start attracting different girls. A lot of times it just comes from that confidence, and you believing in yourself more so over. Alongside the physique, you're going to be winning, man. You're going to be winning. It's just one of these things that you need to be kind of smart with this, because a lot of people don't give you any caution with it. They'll say, just go for any girl, fuck any girl, get your body count up, and they don't look at it from a perspective that, is that really going to fulfill you on a deeper level? And some of you may not give a fuck. Some of you may not give a fuck, which is fine. But other guys may actually care. Naturally, me, I'm an overthinker, naturally. So I'm going to naturally be thinking about certain qualities. Is it right? Is it right? Is it right? And I always know when it isn't right. And I've stepped into it when it isn't right. And what happens then? It ends up going bad, even though I knew it wasn't right. So naturally, you got to have a real mindset with this stuff. I'm not saying don't have little stuff here or there with girls that may not be your wife. You know what I mean? Little stuff here or there, it's all right. But what I am saying is don't get attached to a girl that's way too social, speaks to way too many people, that's doing way too much. And you think, oh, she's the one for me because she likes me. Or some weird shit like that. Don't be doing that, you know? Don't be doing that, because that is not going to help you. And more so over, it's probably going to end badly. And that's the biggest red flag that I found. Hope you lot got a lot of value. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you. If you want any help getting in shape, shoot me an email and I'll put it on the screen potentially. If not, it's in my bio and I'll put it in the description as well for you. Hope you lot got a lot of value. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you.